Welcome back to year number 12, week number 6 of the Cascade Valley Coyotes. Now this week our matchup is against the Indiana Hoosiers, and I feel pretty good. We've got obviously a dominant list of roster compared to Indiana, but we've honestly not played super well in some areas, so we'll see how we do. Now from a recruiting standpoint, we only ended up signing one guy from the last week's draft class or recruiting class, but Edgar Cooper is a big-time player who's going to make big-time plays for us. A 4-star defensive end, the number 18 defensive end in the entire country. Good speed, great acceleration, fantastic power moves and block shedding. I really like his opportunity to play. Maybe not year 1, but years 2 through 4, he's got an opportunity. As for the rest of our recruiting class, I feel really good. We've got a really good spot for Max Henning. We're good for across the board pretty much. Most of our guys were sitting in the top spot or we're climbing. Cortez Terry, the athlete, 83 overall. We're now in 3rd place, moving our way up top. Marshall LaChapelle, 2nd place. We kind of worked our way back in. We were locked out for a little bit. Now we're back in. We have a recruiting visit coming up. We feel really good about where we're at with him. Jarvis King, again, same thing. We're moving on up. Javon Ford, we are sitting at the top. There is a little bit of worry with UCF there, but for the most part, I like where we're trending. We're trending positively. We're moving up the leaderboard, and that's really what matters this stage of the season. Tyquan Freeman, we'll see what ultimately happens with him, but I think we're going to be fine. We'll see if we drop again this next week, and if we do, we'll keep it moving. But if not, we'll see if we can get this guy. And then Moses Wiggins, the last guy we're looking at here, a new guy added to the board. To give you an idea of what he's got, he's a +11, kind of a gem here, 89 speed, 91 acceleration. I like what I'm seeing across the board. Good zone coverage, great man coverage, solid press. He's probably going to be, again, a corner here. You never know, but I like our chances with him. Now, the season has been a doozy, but we are seeing that Ole Miss's Mikael Williams is balling out. He had 12 for 19, 147 yards, and 111 on the ground with 2 total touchdowns. The big thing there is they beat Alabama. Whenever you beat Alabama, your stock is going to go through the roof. Our issue here, though, is that Tyrell Brown has not played terrible, but he hasn't played great either. These are stats that aren't really his stats. Pedestrian, maybe by his standards. 18 carries, 83 yards, kind of 3 touchdowns is great, but 3 receptions, 39 yards, and a touchdown. We're used to seeing more. A 4-touchdown game is great, but the committee's looking to see more yards from him. He is the Heisman favorite. He won the Heisman last season, and if he wants to repeat, he's got to do more. From a top 25 standpoint, we continue our reign here at number 1. Again, we moved back up a few weeks ago. Now we're sitting at number 1 still. Michigan stays at 2, Penn State at 3. Ole Miss goes from 6 to 4 after beating Alabama. Again, a very good team who's now bumped back to number 11. The Ohio State University goes from 4 to 5. They fall back because, again, Ole Miss is going to jump them at this point. But I like where we are at this stage of the season. Alabama, again, has a loss. They're going to probably make a play back for the top 5. But our team is in a really good spot. We have multiple ranked opponents throughout the rest of the schedule. Obviously, our conference schedule is very difficult, and if we win the conference championship, we're always going to be guaranteed to be into that top 4 spot for the college football playoffs, but it's not easy to do what we're trying to do each year. I would say that I'm not worried about our guy Taylor Reed, by the way, but I am a little bit worried for him. He had a really bad performance in the previous week. He's been really good this season, but all the interceptions he threw last week, I believe 3 in total with 3 touchdowns. It's a little bit of pause for concern. It was a big test for him, a road game that didn't really work out his way. But let's see how he does against Indiana, a team that he should absolutely beat regardless of where we play. We got a big opportunity to see what our squad can do today. I'm excited. We got, look, another road game, another test for the young quarterback. What can he ultimately do? He's had some issues this season, and we get a loss in 2 to start the game. Indiana's putting pressure on him. 2nd down and 12 after a big loss. Dumping it off to the halfback. Tyrell Brown, again, looking to make some plays today. Doesn't really get much. 2 yards, if that. It's 3rd and 9. He's something big here. A huge morale boost for Indiana if they can get a stop here. But Jay Bohm, finding himself open, picks up an 11-yard reception. He's been major this season. Taylor Reed makes a quick adjustment here. Got a guy going deep. He floats one. It's a little bit underthrown, and that was nearly picked off by Reese. Tyrell Brown itching to get a carry so far today. He finally gets one here. A solid run for him. Picks up about 5. Huge opportunity for the squad. Indiana is loading the box right now. They do not respect anything we're doing. We float one over the top, and it is dropped in the breadbasket of Jeremiah Butler. What a throw by Reed. Reed not afraid to run the football. He's not going to pick up major yards like his previous counterpart here in more in football, but he is going to get a nice 4-yard gain. At the end of the day, if the defense has to respect Taylor Reed running a little bit, that is going to make things so much easier for this offense. Reed, speaking of running, he's going to try to pick up some yards here. Taylor Reed, maybe with the longest run of his young career, and he gets down because he's smart. We're not trying to get an injury here. The rain is definitely complicating things right now. We don't really feel good about our run game, but Taylor Reed is trying his best to get this squad involved, and just can the blocking work out for Tyrell Brown? He is struggling to find creases to get open. Derek Johnson in the game. Gets an opportunity. He tries to fight for it, and he does get the 1st down. What a 9-yard run by him. 1st and goal to go. Right across the middle is Mikael Smith, and 7 yards later, Cascade Valley's on top. If you're Coach Mervin McMervin, that's what you want to see right there. Look at your defense. Go out there and make some plays to get a stop. Were they giving up a lot of yards? Yes, but they ultimately forced the punt when they needed to. Tyrell Brown still looking to get a carry here to actually go for a major positive gain. Looks pretty solid there. Jukes back into the other guys, and look at that. A first down run by Tyrell Brown. Finally some life in both him and the offensive line. Derek Johnson in a QB. Kel Smith's going to slide over into the backfield. Little handoff here. Mikael Smith has some room. Ladies and gentlemen, he just needs a block to be held. He could have taken the outside of the block held, but unfortunately he didn't, and it's 2nd and inches. Short yardage conversions have definitely been our forte over the past couple of seasons, and we're seeing it right here. As Tyrell Brown barely gets enough, but it is enough. Brown has had a limited amount of carries, but he's averaging over 5 yards per carry. Big fan of that. Taylor Reed, also a big fan of this guy out here. Mikael Smith, his 2nd touchdown of the game. I think the important thing to note is always call out a good play when there's a good play. That is Anderson, who a few plays ago we were frustrated with because he knocked the defender forward for the first down. He comes out here and makes a turnover happen. You love to see how he's having resilience. Big opportunity here. Again, the missed extra point definitely hurts us, but we have an opportunity to go up multiple scores here. Reed throws one on the run. Roderick Johnson hits him in the helmet. You can't ask for more from your quarterback, but your running back, you can ask a lot more. Takes his time. Throws one, and it's J Bohm, one-handed, spun around, cartwheel, flip, periwinkle, whatever you want to call it. It does not get completed. And you know Coach Mervin McMervin, he is willing to take a risk. He trusts his defense. They've been exceptional today, and he's going to do that right here. Going for it on 4th down. Not exactly conventional wisdom. Taylor Reed is going to keep it and get the first down, and most importantly, not turn it over as he gets hit pretty hard. The scouting report on Taylor Reed was just, he doesn't run the football. In high school, he had less than 100 yards in his entire career rushing, and he's out here making crazy plays. Look at Roderick Johnson looking more like Tyrell Brown than Tyrell Brown is looking like him. What is going on? They punted to us. J Bohm had a 39-yard return. Again, Mr. All-Purpose himself out here making plays. Tyrell Brown trying to do something. Nice hezzy there. Breaks another tackle and gets down. He sees Roderick Johnson trying to take his job, and he says, not so fast. This is why you have 2 great running backs on your team. Roderick Johnson is the backup. He will be the backup. We have a Heisman-winning running back here, and Tyrell Brown. But this dude, when he gets some blocking, will make plays. Not exactly what we wanted there, but still solid. 2nd down and 7. Reed sees something. Gets pressured. He's rolling. He's trying to do something. Taylor Reed might be dead. A first down would not mean necessarily a touchdown, but Tyrell Brown says, don't worry, coach. I'm in the end zone. So Indiana had the ball, didn't really do anything, and then they give the ball right back to us. And oh my God, Taylor Reed over the top to Mikael Smith, and Mikael Smith having a day right now. I think the wild thing about Taylor Reed is that, yes, he has his issues. We've seen that, you know, some of those passes maybe are picked off from time to time. But that dude can throw a deep ball. When there's a receiver open deep, he will absolutely find him. And speaking of that, Chris Mack. It's the return of the Mack, baby. Indiana has made it to midfield with about a minute left here in the first half. They are down 34-0 in the first, and oh, they're about to get some points on the board. Gaines Mario, looking like Super Mario there. Indiana rushes to the line, trying to find something here. Their quarterback's going to try to take off. Christoph Houston is having none of it, though, and shuts him down for the first sack of this afternoon. Indiana right back to it again. They throw one underneath. Donnell Gambler, though, there to stop it, but it's 3rd and goal. Big adjustment here. 20 seconds left in the first half for Indiana. They have 1 timeout left. The quarterback takes his time, throws one, and Mangiero could have covered it, stopped in his tracks, and because of that, Indiana gets their first touchdown of the game. We start the second half getting the ball back after Indiana can't really do much with it. J Bohm, another great punt return of 17 yards, giving us great field position to come out here and do something. And speaking of J Bohm, he's got double coverage, trying to go up, and he nearly comes down with that one, but a great play by Kelvin Rivers. Taylor Reed is piling up the yards, but he has thrown a couple of plays that are, you know, borderline interceptions out there. Big 3rd down and 4. Cardinal Killings wide open. Great route combo here, and the true freshman getting the ball in his hands. Reed staying in shotgun here. He's been pretty pass happy this afternoon. Looking for something, anything really. Throws one, and it's going to be the J Bohm who somehow catches that one while contorting his body. What a throw by Reed. Brown looking to get back in the end zone here. The opportunity presents itself, and you know Tyrell Brown, he's going to find the end zone. Starting it again. We've been really pass happy this drive, trying to figure things out on that side of the ball. We don't really like what we have here. We try to get rid of it, and that one goes out of bounds. Reed needed to throw it away, and he pump faked it instead, and that could have hurt us tremendously. 2nd down, 23 yards to go. Reed knows he needs something a little bit better than what has happened on the previous play. He's got a guy. The guy stopped running. He's going to try to throw one at Jay Bowman. Bowman's going to be able to get it and make it 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 6 yards to go. Reed pretty gassed right now. Dumps it off to his halfback. Looking great here. Tyrell Brown, finally some good moves in the open field. First down again. Nice little curl route here. Jeremiah Butler picks up 13. Under center for Reed. Not a ton of pressure, but a nice little misdirection as Butler, again, back-to-back receptions, and he should have had a first down, but the spot was a little off. Reed is already having a massive game right now, but he's still huffing and puffing from all that running he's been doing on this drive. Oh, he had an opportunity, but again, the stamina, you got to imagine it came into play as the pressure came in as well. Cascade Valley has been 5 for 6 on 3rd down conversions. They're trying to make it 6 for 7 here. Handing it off to Tyrell Brown is going to do just exactly that as the young fella gets 3 when we only needed 1. Thornhill's going to line up here at QB this time. Johnson's going to slide over. Thornhill's going to keep it. You know he's got some speed, and Thornhill's going to take it all the way to the house. Mac Thornhill, look, he may not be the starter. He's probably not going to play a lot this year, but we will find ways to mix him in, just like that. Indiana is seeing the writing on the wall. They know this is not a game that's going to go in their favor, but they're still going to put up a fight. Christoph Houston having a heck of a game. 6 tackles, 3 of them for a loss, and he's got a sack. I'd love to see how he's playing right now. Again, rocking the number 8 in his senior year. A pretty historic feature for him. And he's showing up big. 2nd and short. Watch the underneath stuff. They got a guy in the flats. They find him, and look at Jay Bohm getting involved. I've noticed a lot of people in the comments that said, well, where is Bohm at? I don't see him on defense. Put him on defense more. Use your eyes. He's out there every single time. He's just not always making a play. That's on him to make a play, and we saw him make one of the previous one, but it's really up to him to be there. Rogers again. Aaron Shoddy tries to take off. Christoph Houston and company. They aren't having it. His 2nd sack of the game. Houston is balling right now. 5 wide again for Indiana. Rogers needs something. He's scrambling out to the right-hand side. Dino Gamblin trying to chase him down. The company is going to be there, and it's 3rd and short. Indiana here, 3rd and short. Christoph Houston was going to be in the backfield, but gets pancaked as he goes through. It does end up being like that sometimes. Trying to get pressure. The quarterback goes for, looks like a little bit of a halfback screenplay. It would have been wide open, but he couldn't get rid of it. It was the freshman Jaron Poe that gets to him. I mean, that dude is highly rated, highly touted, and he's showing that he is worth every single penny in that recruiting process as teams were scouting him. Look at Rogers throwing one. That is a crazy throw to make. Somehow it goes in, and Rodriguez Gibson brings him down. None other than Super Mario Gaines out there making plays for Indiana. Great throw, though, by Rogers. They throw one here to the edge, and what a run by Washington. Absolutely torches our defense, and they've got double digits. Taylor Reed here again. Little play action fake. Got some guys, throws one, and it's going to be picked off. A risky throw. The pressure was there, and Indiana's going to try to get some more points on the board after a great drive offensively previously. 4 wide receivers out here for Indiana. 3rd quarter winding down. Christoph Houston, he's there. This game should be an easy win for us, but it's just a matter right now of just making sure we stop making mistakes, get the ball to our playmakers, and walk out of here unscathed. I know this Indiana team isn't as good as some of the teams we've played on the road, like WVU, but this is still a much better effort from our team than what it was previously. And Christoph Houston has no idea until the last second that he blocked the ball with his back. Now here in the 4th quarter, they are going to pull some of our starters. We will give Tyrell Brown another opportunity to come out here and shine, but for now, it's the Roderick Johnson show, and Roderick Johnson, he's making the case for more carries. Reed and Brown, along with the first team offense, come back in. Got another drive or 2 in them, and Tyrell Brown says, hold on, buddy. I got more yards out here as well. He picks up a 12-yard gain, pushing him closer to 100. And funny enough, Brown actually does hit 100 on the game with that run. Unless he loses some yards, he should be staying above that. And look at Tyrell Brown. This is the Tyrell Brown we needed. Every time Roderick Johnson runs for a crazy gain, he comes back and shows that he's still him. First down for Reed. Throws a dot. Jay Bohm inside the 5. 300 yards passing today is huge. The interception obviously is a little bit of a blemish on the record, but I'm still happy with what we've seen from Taylor Reed today. Poise, he's gotten some pressure in his face and thrown mostly great balls, but again, a young quarterback, especially a freshman, will run into some issues here and there. We won't talk about that, though. This man's name is Justin Christ. After a little bit of a breather, Brown right back in the game, looks to run over a defender, and he can't quite get it. Coach McMervin says run it back. The defense is there, but it does not matter. Tyrell Brown will find the gap, and it's another multi-touchdown game for the young fella. A drive that will not win this football game for them, but it gives them a little bit of a morale boost, makes them feel a little bit better about themselves here. Rogers, all the time in the world, looking for something, throws one. Christoph Houston is there. What are they going to call on this play?
Pass interference. Offense.
Oh, okay, never mind. We're good with that. We'll take that. Kind of a wild one there. We thought that might have been on the defense, but they say it was not. And we feel a little bit blessed because of that. Reed, again, all the time in the world. Nobody close, and he gets out of bounds after 20. This is the best running game of his young career. Read under center. Throws one, he's got a step, and it's Mikel Smith who drops it. He could have had a historic game, but he drops another one. Get an update on Indiana's number 85, Morris. He has a torn pectoral muscle, so he is gone for 11 weeks, likely the rest of their season at this stage. Can't imagine this Indiana team's gonna really be bowl bound. Taylor Reed on the run, throws one, and that could have been picked or caught for a touchdown. It just went, unfortunately, not our way. Well, the last few plays have definitely been rough. We are, honestly, very good on third downs today. And we continue it as a young freshman. Carnell Killens gets an 18-yarder. Or Derek Johnson stays in the game right now. Little dump off pass here to Chris Mack, and return to the Mack, looking great, breaking ankles and getting inside the 10. I think one of the scariest things about our Cascade Valley team this year is that after the catch, our receivers are just different. And unfortunately, our offensive line is also different, not in a good way. Tyrell Brown! What? Mack actually has a bruised tournament. Will return a little bit later, but that opens an opportunity for Carnell Killens to get more playing time here. Speaking of Killens, right across the middle, an absolute dot to him. And he's going to be inside the 5 now with a 13-yarder. Now with 3rd and goal, Reed under center. Batted away. You know Coach Mervin McMervin. We're going for it. 4th and goal. The halfback toss, and the fastest man in college football. Sometimes doesn't look like it. Tyrell Brown, 4-yard touchdown run. Another historic game for him. He is on pace right now to put some pressure on Jason Barr's record. I'm just saying. This game was not close really at all. Once the first quarter was over, we knew this game and the outcome it was going to be. But Tyrell Brown, 19 for 113, 4 touchdowns, 3 receptions, 16 yards. It's still not Tyrell Brown-esque numbers, but it looks a whole lot closer than what we saw earlier this season. Recap for the stats, Taylor Reed was 19 for 29, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Got sacked twice, but for the most part, played really well today. Mac Thornhill, 4 of 6. In his little relief effort that he came in, was very good. On the ground, Brown, you saw the stats, 113 and 4 touchdowns. Big game for him. Taylor Reed, 46 on the ground. Did not expect that at all, including 2 20-yard runs. Derek Johnson, 4 for 85 and 1 touchdown. I'm just saying we didn't know the young fella had speed like that. And Mac Thornhill, again, getting that nice touchdown earlier as well. I am happy with how this defense and this offense played. On the receiving side, call me crazy, but Jay Bohm, our leading receiver, 4 for 76. Didn't get in the end zone today. Neither did Tyrell Brown or Carnell Killens, who had 3 for 42. A great game by him. Chris Mack gets in the end zone once for 3 for 78. Kel Smith catches 3 balls, 2 of them for a touchdown, and goes for 98 yards. And then defensively, mama, there goes that man again. Christoph Houston, 9 solo tackles, 5 of them being for loss, 2 sacks. That's your defensive player of the game. Maybe even the player of the game, in my opinion. I mean, nobody's putting up numbers like him except for Christoph Houston. Give this man every award in the book and draft him, because this dude is an absolute stud. Our schedule has been a little bit easier at this point. We've had really 1 real test, and outside of that, it's been some run-of-the-mill teams. But coming up soon, we have very difficult squads, and it's going to mean that our defense and our offense should be fine-tuned and ready to go, because if they're not, some losses might be on the board. Be safe, be smart, tell somebody you love them. Catch you guys on the next one.